Right, hi lads, here's a quick run through on tacho usage. You should have two cards, a company card and a driver card. Okay, we'll go with the company card first. So in slot 2, you always place the cards in with the SIM card facing down and up. Just offer it up in slot 2, just let it take it away. Okay, and then you'll notice that it will start going through some gubbins here and come up with H Tempest Limited. And just let it finish its process. Eventually it will say something like already locked in or lock in company card. Okay, so basically the company card is already locked in, so we don't have to do anything. You don't have to keep the company card in the machine. Okay, so if we press eject on slot 2, it will now say lock out company card. The answer to that is no, so we just press OK because we want to keep it locked in. Okay, now the card will come out. That's it. That's all you have to do with the company card basically. Okay, now the driver card, okay, this one here, it goes into slot 1. Okay, again, it's not called the SIM card bit, I don't know what it's called, the little gold bit, but just offer it up, give it a slight nudge, and then it will go. Okay, again, welcome, we'll give you the time, it will start going through the process. It'll tell you when your last withdrawal was, the last time you took the card out, and then it will say, would you like to put in a manual addition? Now the answer to that is always pretty much no, so just use the arrows to go up to no and then OK it. Okay, and then that's it, that's the card in. You can now drive. It'll automatically go from sleep to drive once you start driving, and when you stop the car, it should automatically revert back to sleep, which is like a picture of a bed. If you need to change anything of those, you use the number 1 button. So if I press number 1, look, if you can see that it goes from bed to like a square with a cross through, and then it goes to this little cross thing, which is, it's actually crossed hammers. Okay, so that is other work, that is rest or bed, and that is driving. Okay, so if you have to do it manually, these are here. Now once you've driven for a bit and done, obviously you need to take the tachograph out at the end of the day. So same as slot 2, press eject, it'll go through the process of ejecting. It'll ask you what country you're in, the UK, so we just press OK to that, and then it'll ask you, when it's done this bit, if you want a 24-hour day. Right, okay, now that is a printout. So if you want a printout, which we don't normally do, you just flick up to yes and press yes, and it will give you a printout of the day's record. You don't need that, you don't have to do that and keep that, okay, because everything's stored on the card. So we're just going to go no, and sure enough the card comes out. Okay, now if you're just parking the car up at Sandhurst and that's it, it's not going to be used, that's fine. If you're going to take the car home, you've now got to put it out of scope, as we call it. Okay, so it's not recording. So what we do is on the menu, we call the main menu, so we press OK, and then the menu comes up, look, and we scroll through until we get entry vehicle. Okay, and then we go OK, and then it will say out begin, again OK, entry stored. Okay, now to leave the main menu, just press this back button here, leave main menu, yes, done. That's it. Now the machine's out of scope, you can drive it, it's not recording. Okay, this is if obviously if you're taking it home or whatever. If you're just going to leave it parked up at Sandhurst, you could just leave the tacho in and it will just keep recording your sleep and your work. Okay, I would recommend, if you're going to leave it stood for a period of time, you're best to take it out and put it out of scope. Okay, So that's the basic premise of how to use the tacho. Now the next thing you have to do is, from periodically, once every 28 days, you have to do a digital download, or a digi-download. Okay, so you need a machine like this. Alright, and on the front of the tacho there's a little slot here that you press down one side between the two buttons, look, and you plug in your digi-download. I'll just plug it in there, and you'll notice on the front you've got some flashing lights. Now to do this you need to have the driver's card in and the company card in. Okay, so you just go through the normal process, put the company card in. It'll ask you if you want to lock it out, obviously no, and then leave that in the slot. Put your own card in, go through all the gubbins as though it's working, and then leave it in. And then what you do on here, look, you've got all VU at the top, latest VU, and then card. Okay, when you first get it and first use it and do a first reading, do an all VU. Okay, and you just basically press the button, the light will flash. I haven't got a memory card in this, so it won't actually do it at the moment. The light will flash. On the front here there'll be, see this circle here, that'll start whirring round. Okay, and it'll keep doing that until it's downloaded all the data, which on your first process could be as long as 20 minutes. Okay, thereafter all you need to do every month is do a latest VU and a card VU. Okay, so again just do the same thing, pop it in and then press latest VU, let that download, and then do a card VU. There is a slot in the bottom here for an SD card, which they come with. Mine's in the house at the minute on the computer. Do your download, take the SD card out, and then load it up to the computer, and there'll be some files under VU and latest VU. Just take them files and email them to Hayley once a month, Hayley Summers. Okay, so she's got a record of them. You can't read the files, it's just sort of like a random series of numbers, but it's obviously got the data that they need. And then once you've done the VU, the download, just take the machine out, take your cards out as per usual, put it out of scope, and that's you done. Hopefully that will give you a little bit of an insight as to how to actually use it, and you can come back to this to reference it. As I say, the company card is locked in all the time, so once you've done that you can just leave it, and then on a daily basis, every time you tow, put the card in and then go through the process to take it out of scope at the end of the day. Like I say, just keep an eye on the sleep and other work and driving bit, because sometimes it won't revert to sleep, or rest rather, so just make sure that you manually put it to rest. Some of them revert to other work, so as soon as you stop it'll go to other work, which obviously counts towards your hours. Okie doke. As for the rules of tacho, you know, it's very difficult to explain in a short video. I mean, you're all going to go on a course. The general rule of thumb is you can't drive for more than 9 hours a day, or you can twice in a 2-week period. You can go to 11 hours, but you have to make that time up in the following week. So for example, if you do 11 hours within the next 7 days, you've got to have a day that's only 7 hours. Yeah, you've got to buy back the 2 hours. Rest periods, every 4 hours 45 minutes you've got to have 45 minutes break. That can be a 30 and a 15 in 2 chunks. It can't be 3 15s. Okay, it has to be, one of them has to be a 30-minute. But the general rule of thumb, 4 hours 45 minutes, you've got to have 45 minutes break. Bear in mind, if you've got to drive 7 hours, you don't want to do 2 hours and then have a 45 minutes break, because then you've still got 5 hours to go, so you'd have to have another break an hour before the end of that drive. So, you know, just work out how you're best, how it's best to have your breaks. Okay, hopefully that's a bit of a help.